Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Read with Chide Day 53. Um, Tonight we are reading the book of Numbers, chapter 3 and chapter 4. Excuse me. Numbers has quite a number of chapters, so I hope you're ready and prepared to go this journey. Yes, we started reading the book of Numbers yesterday, and today we are reading chapters 3 and 4. As you join in, please do well to drop a comment, drop a hi, say something so that we can know you're here. As well, do well to share this link with friends and loved ones. Share it on your WhatsApp, share it on your Instagram, share it on your Facebook, share it everywhere so that as many people as possible can join us as we read the Bible together. I see one like already, and I don't even know who is here with me. So please, as you join in, do well to say hi and let us study the Bible together. Drop your thoughts, comments, questions, wonders as we read the Bible together this evening. Are you ready? Okay, off we go. Numbers chapter 3, verse 1. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests, which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children, and Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron and their father. In the sight of Aaron their father. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him, and they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle, and they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel, to do the service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine, because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be, I am the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Israel after the house of their fathers, by their families, every male from a month old and upward shall thou number them. And Moses numbered them according to the word of the Lord as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names: Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families: Libni and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their families: Amram and Izehar, Hebron and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari by their families: Mali and Mushi. These are the families of the Levites according to the house of their fathers. Today I saw a video by CCI Manchester, I think, and it was they were playing a game, right, and asking people to say names from the Bible in alphabetical order. And one guy mentioned a name, Karen something, and I'm like, what? I've never come across that name before. But again, like I mentioned before, all of my previous times reading these chapters where they're just calling names and talking about, oh, let it be 4 cubits and 5 spans and whatnot. I never really paid attention, or I thought I was paying attention, but I realized I wasn't, because I missed out on a lot of things. But now reading it out loud, I am inevitably paying more attention, and taking note of more things. So these are names that I would have heard and said, I've never heard that name before, but now because I am not just reading it with my eyes, I'm saying it with my mouth. I'm saying it out loud, I'm hearing it. I am more likely to recognize these names if I hear them tomorrow. That thought just crossed my head. Back to what we were reading, verse 21. Of Gershon was the family of the Libnites and the family of the Shemites. These are the families of the Gershonites, those that were numbered of them, according to the number of the name of the males, from a month old and upward. Even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. And the families of Gersh and the families of the Gershonites shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward, and the chief of the house of the father of the Gershonites shall be Eliasaph, the son of Lael. And the charge of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation shall be the shall be the tabernacle of the tent, the covering thereof, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the curtains for the door of the court which is by the tabernacle and by the altar round about, and the cords of it, all the service thereof. It's breaking them to service units. Verse 27. And Kohath was the family of the Amramites, and the family of the Izrahites, and the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzielites. These are the families of the Kohathites, and in the number of all the males from a month old and upwards were 8,600, keeping the charge of the sanctuary. The families of the Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle southward, and the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel, and their charge shall be the ark, and the table, and the candlestick, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary wherewith they minister, and the hanging, and all the service thereof. And Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest shall be chief over the chief of the Levites, and have the oversight of them that keep the charge of the sanctuary. Of Merari was the family of the Malites, and the family of the Mushites. These are the families of Merari, and those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upwards, were 6,200. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northwards, and under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle and the bars thereof. I almost thought I saw boards of directors. Boards of the tabernacle and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that serveth thereto. And the pillars of the court round about, and these and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, but those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for the charge of the children of Israel, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall he put to death. All that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of the Lord throughout their families, all the males from a month old and upward were 22,000. And the Lord said unto Moses, number all the firstborns of the males of the children of Israel from a month old and upward, and take the number of their names. And thou shalt take the Levites for me, I am the Lord, instead of all the firstborns among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites, instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel. And Moses numbered, as the Lord commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and all the firstborn males by the number of names from a month old and upward. Of those that were numbered of them were 22,213. That is 22,273. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the Levites instead of all the firstborns among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of your cattle, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 213 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites, thou shalt even take 5 shekels apiece by the pole, and the shekel of, after the shekel of the sanctuary shalt thou take them. The shekel is 20 gerahs. And thou shalt give the money wherewith the odd number of them is to be redeemed unto Aaron and his sons. And Moses took the redemption of the money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Levites. Of the firstborn of the children of Israel took he the money, 1,303 score and 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the money of them that were redeemed unto Aaron and to his sons, according to the word of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. Now, moving on to Numbers chapter 4, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and said unto him, Take the sum of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, about after their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation about the most holy thing. And when the camp setteth forward, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil, and cover the ark of the testimony with it, and shall put thereon the covering of badger skins, and shall spread over it a cloth wholly of blue, and shall put the staves thereof. And upon the table of shewbread they shall spread a cloth of blue, and put thereon the dishes and the spoons and the bowls and the covers to cover withal, and the continual bread shall be thereon. And they shall spread upon them a cloth of scarlet, and cover the same with a covering of badger skin, and shall put in the staves thereof. And they shall take a cloth of blue, and cover the candlestick of the light, and his lamps, and his tongues, and his snuff dishes, and all the oil vessels thereof, wherewith they minister unto it. And they shall put it all in the they shall put it and all the vessels thereof within a covering of badger skin, and shall put it on upon a bar. And upon the golden altar they shall spread rather they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of badger skin, and shall put to the staves thereof. And they shall take all the instruments of ministry wherewith they minister in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them with a covering of badger skin, and shall put them on a bar. Now, and they shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread a purple cloth thereon, and they shall put upon it all the vessels thereof, wherewith they minister about it. Wherewith they minister about it, even the censers and the flesh hooks and the shovels and the basins, all the vessels of the altar, and they shall spread upon it a covering of badger skin, and put the staves in it. And when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary and all the vessels of the sanctuary as the camp is set forward, after that the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, but they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die. These things are the burdens of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation. So now in this chapter, what is happening is a further detailed, explanation of what is expected of each service unit, or in this case, tribe. And I find it very interesting that this breakdown is being done so that everyone is clear what they're supposed to do. 16, verse 16, and to the office of Eleazar the son of Aaron, the priest, the priest pertaineth the oil for the light, and the sweet incense, and the daily meat offering, and the anointing oil, and the oversight of all the tabernacle, and all that therein is, in the sanctuary and in the vessels thereof. Excuse me. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Cut ye not off the tribe of the families of the Kohathites from among the Levites, but thus do unto them, that they may live and not die. When thou approach unto the most holy thing, Aaron and his sons shall go in, and appoint them everyone to his service and to his burden. But they shall not go in to see when the holy things are covered, lest they die. Now, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers by their families, from 30 years old upward until 50 years old shalt thou number them, all that enter to perform the service to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites to serve and for burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation his covering, and the covering of the badger skins that is above upon it, and the hanging of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the hangings of the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle and by the altar round about, and their cords, and all their instruments of their service, and all there is to hit to them, so shall they serve. I feel like I'm extra ginger this night. Apologies, my voice is extra raised. Verse 27, At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of the Gershonites. It's in all their burdens and in all their service, and ye shall appoint them in charge of all their burdens. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation, and their charge shall be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. So you think, and again, this might be not directly related, but it popped in my head as I was reading that basically generosity, right? So let me just leave what I was about to say and just continue with what we actually have in the book. Verse 29. As for the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, shalt thou number them, every one as every one that entereth into the service to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And this is the charge of their burden according to all their powerful service in the tabernacle of the congregation, the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, and with all their instruments, with all their service, and by name ye shall reckon the instruments of the charge of their burden. And this is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, according to their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. Now, verse 34. And Moses and Aaron and the chief of the congregation numbered the sons of the Kohathites, and after their families, and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years and upward, even unto 50, every one that entered into the service for the program, into the that entered into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. And those that were numbered of them by the families were 2,750. These were they that were numbered of the families of the Kohathites, all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, which Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. And these that were numbered of the sons of Gershon, and throughout their families and by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, every one that entereth into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. But even though that were numbered of them throughout their families by the house of their fathers were 2,630. These are they that were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all that night to do of all that night of all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, whom Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandments of the Lord. And those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari throughout their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, everyone that entereth into the service for the work of the tabernacle, for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation, even those, even those were numbered of them after their families, and were 3,500. These be those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari from Moses. And Aaron numbered them according to the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. Now, all these that were numbered by the Levites and Moses and Aaron and the chief priests and their families and all that and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that come everyone that came to do the service of ministry and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them were 8,504 score. According to the commandment of the Lord, they were numbered by the hand of Moses. According to the commandment of the Lord, they were numbered by the hand of Moses, everyone according to his service and according to his burden. They they were by numbered, they were there numbered of the Lord as the Lord commanded Moses. May God bless the reading of his word. Tell me what stood out to you as we read. What questions do you have? What thoughts crossed your mind as we read? What do you think about the writing style of Numbers? What do you think about the? Just share with me what struck you as we read. And when I say the writing of the book of Numbers, like, like I mentioned at the beginning of as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, of us reading the book of Numbers, rather, as I mentioned at the beginning of us reading the book of Numbers, um while it is agreed by scholars that Moses wrote Numbers, it is still an anonymous book, right? So when I say, what do you think about the writing? Is it similar to Leviticus? Is it similar to Exodus? So that we can agree that it is the same author, or you yeah. But tonight's reading particularly found interesting. Being divided into service units for the service of the tabernacle. Very interesting stuff. So if you are in any unit in church, know that it didn't start today. It did not start today. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Please do well to ensure you are subscribed and you have the bell icon on so that you can be notified every single time we are live. Do have a lovely night's rest. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing this link with your friends and loved ones. It means a lot to me. Have a lovely night's rest. Good night. Oh.